Good morning. Welcome to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. I'm Sean Knight, and we've got a great topic, Sheriff. Many people who follow us on social media, they hear us talk about the 9 p.m. routine and lock it or lose it. But today we're focusing on another issue regarding vehicles.
Yeah, one of the things that's taking place all across the country is not only folks who are breaking in the cars and the 9 o'clock routine we talk about, where they're checking doors and trying to see which car doors are open and going in and taking things. Right. They've elevated their game, you might say. Now they don't just want to take the things that are in your car. They'd like to take the entire car. Mm-hmm. And that's one of the things that we're working on, we and the Tallahassee Police Department. In fact, police departments across the country are experiencing the same uptick in auto thefts, and we've formed some initiatives here that will help us fight the issues of car thefts. But like everything else, Sean, I keep saying, I say it over and over again, we can prevent most of the crime if we would just do a couple of things. We do our 9 o'clock routine. That's going to be very helpful. Right. But we're going to talk today about some of the things we can do as citizens to target harden ourselves against people taking our cars. A lot of that has to do with technology as well.
It does, and technology can be our friend. We just have to maximize the potential there. And today we're going to be talking with one of our detectives about how these schemes work and things that you can do to help fortify your vehicles. But one of the things that you were very strategic in doing is partnering with the police department for an auto crimes task force.
Absolutely. One of the things we know is that most of the crime that takes place inside the city of Tallahassee. Mm-hmm. But we have to be all in, as I call it, trying to address the problems of our community no matter where they are. And one of the best things we have is the ability to come together as one family, law enforcement fighters trying to fight crime in our community in a unified way, and that gets better results for the citizens out there. And that's what it's all about. At the end of the day, how can we do something in Tallahassee-Leon County that improves the likelihood of our citizens not becoming a victim? And we're so happy that the Tallahassee Police Department is agreeable, and most of the issues we try to tackle, they're right there with us, hand and foot, trying to work on some of these issues. And today we're going to learn more about how that task force works and what the benefits are, not only to us, but to our citizens out there.
All right, well, we got a lot to unpack here today, so we want to make sure you stick around. Coming up is your vehicle, one of the hot target items out there. We're going to take a deeper dive after the break.
Good morning, this is Sergeant Sean Edwards with the Leon County Sheriff's Office Recruiting Unit, and this is your Safety Tip Tuesday.
When recovering from a disaster, the first steps you take after are crucial. Verify your insurance coverage and don't rely on a contractor to tell you what's covered. Before you commit to anything, use online review sites you trust to see what others are saying. Be skeptical of anyone promising immediate cleanup or repairs. Never pay for repairs in full until the work is completed and you are satisfied with the job.
And that was your Safety Tip. Have a nice day.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Welcome back. Thieves are not just trying to take what's inside your car, they want the whole thing. Joining us now is LCSO Detective Jeff Stowell. Jeff, tell us about your career thus far.
I've been in law enforcement now for about 15 years. Started my career at a different agency back in 2009. Did a lot of different things over there, and then I got hired on here with Leon County January 2016. Started with patrol, became an FTO or field training officer for a couple of years, did that, transferred over to the civil and warrants unit for about 4.5 years, and now I'm currently assigned to the Auto Crimes Task Force.
Wow, in 4 years you've had all those trips, man, that is outstanding. Talk to us about the, what are you doing right now with the Auto Task Force? What's that all about?
So the Auto Crimes Task Force is a unit that is comprised of detectives from the Sheriff's Office and the Tallahassee Police Department. And we work together sharing experience, knowledge, and resources, working together every day to investigate vehicle crimes, auto crimes, and auto burglaries.
You know, I was just sharing with Sean Knight how how much the impact has been in our community with auto thefts. From your perspective, how big a crime is this in our community?
It's a pretty big issue in our community. Documented cases statistically, just up for the year, between us and the police department, we have a total of 387 reported stolen vehicle cases. That's from January 1 to July 31st of this year. So if you do the math, over 7 months, that's over 50, a little over 50 cases a month. So it's a pretty big issue we're dealing with.
Are there any specific type of cars? Is there anything we can share with our audience out there about how they can keep their cars from being stolen or broken into, for that matter?
Yeah, well, for your first question, we've noticed the top 4 vehicle make and models that have been targeted as far as being stolen is Kia Optima, Hyundai Elantra, Hyundai Sonata, and a Kia Forte. And that's basically because those particular vehicles, they're most vulnerable for their ignition system, so they're easy to access, manipulate, and they can take in a quick amount of time.
So what is that, when you talk about they're easy to get to, access, manipulate, what are they manipulating?
So a lot of times if you have your key fobs now, right?
Yes.
A lot of the current vehicles have key fobs. So once they can they can make a copy of that key fob, they use devices to copy the signal to access your vehicle and start your vehicle. That's one of the things they've mainly been doing. And then if you have your old key ignition start vehicle, I mean, it takes them a few minutes. They access your vehicle, they disable the steering wheel column, and they just manipulate the wiring, and they're able to start the ignition that way.
Wow. Are these thefts taking place in any one particular part of our community, or?
We haven't seen one specific area targeted more than others. It's pretty widespread. The cases are pretty even throughout the county. We've seen specifically this week, actually, city and county parks, parking lots of city and county parks and greenways have been targeted again most recently this week. That's been an off again, on again kind of trend every year, and that's just starting back up again. So,
yeah, Jeff, do you have any idea what the volume in terms of monetary volume that's impacting our community with respect to these cars that are being stolen? What does that look like?
I don't have an exact number, but it's a significant amount. So if your vehicle gets stolen, you have to pay out of pocket. If it gets recovered, you got to pay out of pocket to get it out of the impound yard. If it gets towed to an impound yard, wherever those fees accumulate until you get it back, you have to pay out of pocket for that. Or you may be at a complete loss of a vehicle if you never get it back, or if it gets totaled, if the suspect totals your vehicle, or sets it on fire, puts it in water, you're completely out of vehicle totally. So.
Huge impact. So is this just a problem here in Tallahassee-Leon County, or is this a statewide or nationwide problem?
This is definitely a nationwide problem. 2023, there's been documented over 1 million vehicle thefts reported nationwide in 2023. That was up 1% from 2022, and we're seeing that trend continuing through this year.
Wow, wow. Well, thank you, Jeff. Up next, Detective Stowell has tips to keep your vehicle safe. Stay tuned.
At the Florida Sheriff's Association, we are able to serve our sheriffs and Floridians thanks to our member support. The FSA Member Perks program was created to give back to our members for all that they do. Members enjoy savings on restaurants, vacations, golf courses, car rentals, healthcare, movie tickets, theme parks, online shopping, and more. With over 300,000 offers, you'll always find ways to save. To learn more or to join the Florida Sheriff's Association, visit fsamemberperks.org.
We're back with Detective Jeff Stowell with our Auto Crimes Task Force. Stowell, we've been talking about vehicle thefts. What is it that our community can do to make themselves safe?
Well, vehicle thefts are basically a crime of opportunity, right? Meaning that most of the time the suspect it's not premeditated, or there's no plan to take your vehicle. But if that opportunity arises, they will quickly take advantage of that. Meaning if you leave your vehicle running unoccupied in your driveway or in a business parking lot, or if you happen to leave your vehicle keys in your vehicle, or spare keys in your vehicle, or anything like that, they will take advantage of that. So what you could do to make yourself less of a target is to make sure your vehicle is secure, first and foremost. Double check, make sure your vehicle is locked, all your windows are up. And don't leave any valuables inside your vehicle. No firearms, no keys, anything like that. If you happen to do so, secure them in a locked glove box, locked center console, trunk area, stuff like that. Just limit the opportunity somebody has to get your personal property or your vehicle specifically is what we're talking about.
Yeah, you know, one of the things, Jeff, that we've talked about a great deal is the break-ins of vehicles, particularly break-ins where they walk away with guns. I've talked about it a number of times on our show about the fact that very little, seldom does a person go out and buy a gun when they commit those robberies and stuff in our community. Can you talk to our viewers about what we're doing with respect to keeping our community safe with these break-ins?
Well, vehicle break-ins are more of a problem than vehicle thefts, believe it or not. The cases are almost double for the year so far. 109 since January 1 at vehicle burglaries. So that's still, you're still talking 15, a little over 15 a month being taken out of cars.
Now is that TPD and LCSO?
That's both the sheriff's office and the police department cases. So that's way too high, in my opinion. So if you got a firearm and don't leave it in your vehicle. I know sometimes we can get complacent. Just make it routine to secure your firearm in your house or outside of your vehicle. And like I said earlier, if it is still in your vehicle, find a way to either secure it, keep it out of plain view, keep it locked up in your vehicle in case someone happens to access your vehicle, they can't get to your firearm. You know,
one of the things we talk about, we talk a lot about the guns, and we're talking today about the cars and the guns left in the cars. What about the home? How prevalent are these issues in terms of these guns being stolen from a person's home?
It's the same. You want to protect your firearms at home just like you would if you kept them in your vehicle. You know, keep them secure, keep them in a safe, a gun safe. Where you're the only one that can access it if you need to quickly. So if someone does happen to come into your home, they're not able to access and take your firearms inside.
Are there any relationships we've got with the dealerships in town relative to how they can assist us with having these prevention efforts take place?
Yeah, so if you have any of the, we mentioned some specific vehicle brands earlier that are targeted more than others. I mean, if you happen to have one of those vehicles, you can reach out to those specific dealerships and say, hey, what are steps I could take, or are there things you can secure my vehicle better as far as the ignition system, or just overall my vehicle security? What are steps I can take on my own, or what are things that I could do through the dealership that can help secure my vehicle?
We talked about TPD and the LCSO doing this together. Talk about that relationship again. How well is that going, and how many units we've got working together there?
Yeah, we have a great relationship with the police department. Right now, we're working out of the police department. That's where the office we're working out of currently. Best of my knowledge, I think we change locations every so often because we're a task force. We have two different agencies working together. But right now, the unit's comprised of like myself, another detective from the sheriff's office, and then 2 to 3 TPD detectives and a TPD sergeant is the auto crimes unit. And like I said earlier, we have a great working relationship. We work together every day to combat this vehicle theft issue that we're dealing with.
Well, Jeff, I know that 4 years and now you've in auto task force and working with TPD and others, I know you guys are doing a great job. I hope the citizens out there appreciate the efforts that we're putting in place to try to deal with these ongoing issues. And I can't commend you all enough for the efforts you put in trying to get these guns off our streets. Thank you, and I appreciate it. Up next in our Deputy on Duty, how LCSO training unit is using virtual reality to sharpen their skills. Stay tuned.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything isn't everything. Even when you think things can never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
In this episode of Deputy on Duty, we're moving beyond the training dorm and venturing into a new realm, revolutionizing deputy training with Axon VR.
Get on the ground, taser, taser.
So Axon VR is a great partnership that we have with Axon International. It is a headset, it's the HTC Vive right now, which incorporates a lot of Axon software, and it can create different scenarios. We can build our own scenarios to accommodate different scenarios that we might see on the road, and better train our deputies to respond to those scenarios.
Deputy Harwood is a recent addition to the training unit, tasked with ensuring our deputies are well prepared to serve the community.
Training is important to Deputy Sheriff because it's a constantly evolving world around us. We've got to respond to differing mental capacities. We've got to respond to differing, crime is always going to be crime, but there's always different ways that you can go about finding a creative solution to a problem.
Axon VR takes taser and firearms training to a whole new level.
Stay away from the back.
An augmented reality, virtual reality program where you can use the taser handset, and we're able to, in a safe environment, do our taser training without having to fire any probes or darts at any of our instructors or participants.
With this new technology, deputies can now train in a more efficient and safer way.
So just in the couple of months that I've been in the training unit, we've made leaps and bounds improvements. With Axon VR, it's really changed the way that we go about training. It's taken our days and made them a lot easier on the body.
At the Leon County Sheriff's Office, we prioritize keeping up with the latest innovations to enhance our employees' efficiency and ensure the community's safety.
Axon VR is helpful because we're able to set up multiple scenarios for our participants, whereas in the past it would have taken a longer time to set up those scenarios. Inside of the headset, we're able to set up 3 or 4 scenarios and have them go through all of them in the time that it would take us to do one.
If you're interested in exploring this technology, consider applying for our Citizens Academy. This program offers you the opportunity to put yourself in the shoes of a deputy with this scenario-based training when you visit the training unit.
Being able to see through a deputy sheriff's eyes and respond the way that we would have to respond and see the reaction gaps that we have in these scenarios, I think is greatly beneficial to the Citizens Academy. They're able to see the split-second decision-making.
Before Deputy Harwood moved to the training unit, he was in the mental health unit, acquiring valuable skills that he could apply to his current role.
I found that there's a myriad of different ways that people learn, whether it's kinesthetic, whether it's verbal, whether it's somebody has to read something off of a page. I'm able to transfer the skills that I picked up in the mental health unit and help our deputy sheriffs understand concepts and different training methodologies.
Instructors in the training unit are dedicated to equipping deputies with the proper tools and techniques, which in turn helps provide stellar service to our community.
It gives me great pride knowing that I can have an influence on a deputy sheriff that can go and help somebody on the worst day of their life.
If you are ready to make a difference in our community, apply for a job at the Leon County Sheriff's Office by visiting www.leoncountyso.com. I'm Shonda Knight for Leon County Today.
Start your new career as a corrections officer at one of the state's most innovative agencies, the Leon County Sheriff's Office.
When I left the academy, my training never stopped.
Work with state-of-the-art technology.
You can make a lot of money at a very young age.
Starting pay is $50,000 a year with amazing benefits.
Firearms, taser, driving training.
A better work-life balance with more time off.
They're going to sponsor you through the academy and pay you while you're there.
Join the family. Apply today at leoncountyso.com.
Download the Leon County Sheriff's Office mobile app right now. Our mobile app makes it easier than ever to report a crime and get important safety alerts. You can also see who's been booked at the Leon County Detention Facility and follow reported crimes in your neighborhood, all in one convenient location in the palm of your hands. Download LCSO Connect right now. It's free in the Apple App Store and Google Play by searching LCSO Connect.
Welcome back to Leon County Today with Sheriff Walt McNeil. And Sheriff, there's so much talk about AI these days, and you've been doing a lot of talk at the office about how we need to get ahead of this. But there's some great aspects of AI.
There is some great stuff out there, and we are taking advantage of some of that in terms of virtual reality training. Heretofore, in the past, every time we did something physically, it had to be physical. And with the advance of all this technology now, we can do training without having our people get injured and trying to make the moves and the maneuvers that they're undertaken to keep themselves safe out there for the training. Also, technology just is something that it's every day it expands, and we've got to try to keep up with it. Like we were talking about with respect to the vehicle thefts, that technology and using and getting those key fobs and being able to open your cars and stuff like that. In Leon County Sheriff's Office, our goal for citizens out there, we're going to try to stay ahead of most of the research that's out there, most of the technology that's out there. And again, these tools we use for training, virtual training that we're doing, is absolutely important. Driving, we hope to at some point have those goggles that we can actually do the driving in without putting our people out there on the road and keep them safe. And so I'm just excited about the opportunities that technology provides for us, but at the same time, I'm a little pessimistic about how it can be used against us. And so we got to research it from both sides.
Absolutely. And talking about those resources, those key fobs make it so easy to lock your vehicle doors, and just remembering, take out those valuables, because I think a lot of it is nobody ever thinks it's going to happen to them. But it's proven that there's no particular area, it happens everywhere.
Absolutely. If you're in whatever area you're in, we have people coming from all across, not only in Tallahassee, but outside of our county, that will come in our neighborhoods and just check car doors all night long to see if they find one open.
So we got to be vigilant.
Got to be vigilant.
Be all in.
Yes, all in.
All right. We want to thank you all for joining us for another episode. We'll see you next week.